Welcome to the lowest budget episode of Lunchtime Serenade, number 6.
I'm going to be honest with you, this might be the highest budget.
You're right. We've got the key lights. We've got a whole bunch of shit. Hey,
we're doing okay.
Welcome to the highest budget episode that makes logistically no sense of Lunchtime Serenade, episode 6. We got Tatsu Ramen up in his bitch.
I would show you mine, but I'm like too scared to hold it with one hand.
Here's what we're going to do. Since we're not in our usual setup, we're going to eat off camera. Sorry. Well, actually, you're welcome because, dude, this is about to be slurpy as shit. So unless you're really into that, sorry. We're eating off camera today, and then we'll be back for our usual raucous hour-long conversation.
Yeah, don't you worry. We'll still be here. It's just we're going to lose the food. Probably take a precautionary poop, and then have a grand old time. So sit back, relax,
and
enjoy
we'll see
the
you
show.
in half a second if you're watching this or listening.
Okay.
All right.
Well, this is not how we're supposed to.
This is these microphones. They're not dynamic microphones. They're not the ones that you're supposed to hold in your hand. They're the ones that you just put and don't touch. So
I'm just gonna like hold it right here the whole time and try to not move my body as much as possible.
Yeah, I hope that there might be a lot of mic noise or like bumping noises.
There probably will be.
You know what?
It's fine.
It's fine because this is the quarantine. This is the
well, everybody, welcome to the quarantine serenade.
Welcome to the quarantine episode. Brian and I are 6 feet apart.
Just take our word for it.
We
Use the little
definitely are.
iPhone thing to tell how far apart we are.
6 feet apart. Trust me, we're being safe.
Yeah, trust.
Quarantine and chill, dude.
I feel like but right before we shot this, we were just hanging out at this apartment. It's not our apartment. Neither of us live here.
Neither of us.
We're just here.
We stole someone's apartment.
Yeah, we pretty much did. Like the two people who actually live here have been sequestered to their rooms while we use their living room. The bigger reason is the
bigger reason
terribly.
is this
mostly because both of us have roommates that are like very susceptible to the thing. So we're basically trying to like
vids.
Yeah, the vids. So we're basically trying to stay as far away from them as possible.
Yes.
So that they're good.
They're good. We're good. So we're doing our own thing. We're sequestering ourselves here. They're sequestering themselves there.
Those are words that we meant to say.
And so, it's just we're being semi-responsible.
Yeah. So, I mean, like the majority of it is just kind of like, okay, there are things happening. There are people who are like susceptible to this. There are people who are sick that we shouldn't be around. There are some people who are susceptible to being even sicker than other people if push comes to shove. Right. So we're basically trying to be as safe as we can while still actually getting this made and getting this out
straight up.
So yeah, we're pretty much around the same 3 people that we were anticipating being around during quarantine anyways. Yeah. So we're good. Everything's fine.
We're good.
Everything seems fine.
Everything seems fine. Who cares? Who the fuck knows in the next 2-3 weeks, 2-3 days? What is time, dude? I felt like I'm in a fucking layover for like a week.
Yeah, I thought today was Friday.
Yeah, I can't do anything. I mean, I have so much work to do, but like I don't want to do any of it.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a really weird feeling and I don't like it, but
I like to start working from home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting. And they shifted me to a nice night schedule. So I'm going to be streaming a lot, which will be fun. So please come hang.
And all of my PC parts came in today. And so I'm going to find a way to build it with Brian without hurting
other people.
Maybe we'll build it on FaceTime. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We got to do something out. But yeah, I'm going to start streaming because
it's going to be fun.
You know how many people have started Twitch channels this week?
Oh, yeah.
So many people.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. I think it's awesome. People are like shitting on people. They're like, I've seen so many tweets.
Of course they're doing that now.
Like, well, why are you no one wants to see the. I saw someone like it's just like someone I know, someone who's like in the music industry, like a manager in the music industry, tweeting about artists who are streaming in a negative way. They're like a person who works with a lot of artists, and they literally tweeted today. They're like, no one wants to fucking see you make music on Twitch. Like, do something different. I'm like,
I don't know. That actually sounds like something that most people want to see.
A lot of people want to see that shit. Like, maybe you don't want to see it, but like, you work with these artists. Why are you shitting on them?
Yeah, that's really weird.
It doesn't make any.
I feel like that's not good for like a business standpoint.
It wasn't good. It was not good. But
what a bad take.
But dude, I'm really glad that everyone's starting streaming. Streaming's the future. Like, obviously not a hot take, but like I'm glad that this is like a good time for people to get into it. You know?
Absolutely.
I'm stoked that it's becoming like a thing. And
I mean, the internet has always been kind of like exactly where like these industries were supposed to be going anyways.
Yeah.
So I mean, like even from like my perspective is like, yeah, I will not be able to like show people what it is I'm doing.
Right.
But in another scenario, I could show people like how to do my job.
Yeah.
Without showing them me doing my job.
Right.
Because I think it'd be kind of cool because like
I'd love to watch an editing stream.
Yeah,
dude.
like what I'm going to be
sick.
doing like through streaming and stuff like that is obviously like while I'm working from home, when people don't need me or don't need me to do stuff, I'm just going to alt tab into a game.
Yeah.
Like play something, keep streaming, alt tab out, just like talk to people while I'm like doing the thing. Like if somebody calls me or something, I'll mute my mic, whatever, like we can do that. But like I just think it'd be kind of cool to like show people like exactly how like my job works.
Yeah.
Because like the assistant editing is kind of like the first stair step into working into post-production. So, and like nobody knows how to fucking do our job. Right. Everybody knows how to edit. Right. Everybody, or like not well, but like people know how to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we can at least like show people how to do this aspect of it because this is how you get your first job. Right. Like this is how you get in. So it's like, I think that'd be kind of cool to like show people that.
Yeah.
Maybe like steal some footage from like,
that'd be tight.
A while back, like build like a fake stack and shit like that and show people everything. I think that'd be fun, but
that would be cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of like an idea for what's going to come in like the next couple of months, just cause I think that'd be kind of fun. So let me know if you guys would want that. Cause I feel like that'd be really fun.
Look out for both of our streams.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to have to figure out how to show 2 screens on stream. I can do that, but they'll be like black bars. Well, I'll make it work.
We'll figure it out. You're a smart guy. You're a smart cookie.
We'll make it
You're
work.
a smart pretzel.
Oh, thanks.
You're a smart donut.
Yeah,
you're a smart cake.
Just keep going down the line.
Name every dessert.
You're doing great.
Also, we didn't talk about the food. We ate it off camera. Normally we eat it on camera. Today we didn't because, I mean, logistics, but also, man, that shit's slurpy as fuck,
bro. We already are like very conscious of like how many fucking mouth sounds we make while doing this. I have to try to
edit like as many as I can down, like when I edit the audio, but I still
even I do some of it too, just in case.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Dude, there's just so many slurpy sounds, man.
But today was extra slurpy. The food was very good. It was from Tatsu Ramen on Melrose, and I normally have, not normally, 50-50 have a bad experience with ramen as far as the after part.
Yep. So we're going to see what happens in about a half hour.
We'll see. If we end up cutting this short, you know why. And but the ramen was great. Yeah. I got a tonkatsu broth. We both got tonkatsu broth. I got pork belly. I always get chicken. A little soft boiled egg on top, some fucking chives and garlic. Dude, you can't go wrong. It's an age-old recipe, and it withstood the test of time. Shit was great.
Get a little spicy too, which is probably what makes me shit myself.
The spicy is what makes the shits.
Yeah, absolutely. But oh god, it's just so good, man.
Dude, can you imagine like how much it hurts after someone does an episode of Hot Ones?
No, absolutely.
Like that's their.
Well, I love how every time someone like comes onto it, they're like, dude, you have to be close to death.
Yeah.
Like, how are you continuously doing
this? How the
this?
fuck does Sean Evans have no taste buds? That dude does not flinch whatsoever.
Well, he doesn't blink. Everything he says, there are no filler words whatsoever. I'm pretty sure he's a robot.
Yeah. He's so like, he knows exactly what he's going to say. He says it. I don't think I've ever said a sentence without like saying a word wrong or like saying in between. Absolutely. Like I can't never made a full sentence.
Maybe my Com 141 class where I had to give a speech.
Yeah. And I memorized the shit
basically
out of that.
Every couple of weeks. Yeah, exactly.
But if I'm talking straight off the dome.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I can't just like form a sentence without saying like.
Dude, I have a problem where like the way that my brain formulates sentences is like too fast for my mouth to say. So like I start talking and that's why I talk really fast and then it just like gets worse. Oh, no. and I just fumble all over my words. It's a nightmare. Or I'll just say something wrong. Like my Freudian slips are like off the fucking chart. It's a nightmare.
Nice to meet you. Fuck.
Oh, nice. Oh my god. I thought that was legitimate. That's funny. No. I hate you. Oh my god.
Oh, dude. Speaking of MILFs, no, I'm just kidding.
let me walk you through the last 3 weeks of my life. It's been a fucking weird ass week. I feel like the last episode, I went back and listened to it just because I listen to it every week just to make sure everything is fine.
Of course, I listened to
it. And I listened to it and I was just like, man, I think our opinions and like our lackadaisical nature of like how the world is responding right now is just like, I don't know if that's a good take.
It's not a good take,
but
dude.
it's also like,
that's how it was a week ago though. A week ago it was like, oh, like we can go out and like it's like fine, whatever. And now it's like straight up like no.
Yeah, it's like do not do that.
If you listen to last week's episode this week, we seem like the biggest piece of shit in the whole universe.
Nightmare. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like now I think Italy had another 790 deaths yesterday. Like
F's in chat,
just
that's
by itself.
Insane.
Did you say F's in chat? Jesus.
Sorry.
But I mean, like, just like the situation that is, wow, that's fucked. The situation, like, as it unfolds is like just getting worse and worse. And I think like we just need to be more cautious of that and like try to fix it. So that's why we're doing this. That's why 100%. we're here this time and everything's fine. We've since changed our ways. We've done a little more research.
Our ways.
And here we are. And
we're no longer kissing the homies goodnight.
Yeah. Well, some of them.
Some homies will kiss goodnight.
So it's fine.
Yeah, it's cool. Cats can't get the COVID, so that's a fact.
Yeah.
Don't look it up, but it's a fact.
Yeah, it is fact. Yeah, dude. And like most people were home and like everybody's doing their like quarantine, like work from home, like day 6. And I was just like sitting in my office. And I was like, nah, here I am.
Yeah.
Which was like honestly kind of shitty, but like also at the same time, it's like this is the only way that we're going to be able to make sure that people can be paid during the quarantine. Because it's like if we don't give people footage and we don't give people like stuff to edit with, they don't have anything to work on, and then they're just out of a job, which is like happening all across the board, like in entertainment and stuff like that. And I mean, like pretty much every actual production is shut down for at least 2 weeks, or at least until like the end of March. Like theoretically they can at least have like skeleton crews go out, but like that's still not advisable. So pretty much every production is shut down. I think the Sony lot in its totality is shut down.
Really?
So like pretty much everybody's down, and then our company was just like, okay, maybe we should do this. So they were just like, cool, let's take this out, let's do all this stuff, but we have to prep it like the AEs do. And like we kind of got like, we got told on like Friday that we had like next week to get stuff ready, and we were just like, Jesus, okay. So while everybody's quarantined, we were still going into the office, which like still kind of shitty, but it's also like,
at least you're the only ones in the office.
Yeah, and like, okay, at least there's only like 14 of us in total, and we're on the entire floor, and we're like all just running around doing our thing, and like we're pretty disinfecting everything. Like I disinfected my keyboard every day.
Dude, yeah, I've been scrubbing like
everything,
a motherfucker.
Oh, my keyboard at home is even nicer than it ever was. Like I took off the keys.
I took off the keys and I scrubbed the insides. I blew out with some air and shit like that.
Oh, it was a mess. And
it's gross, dude. There's so many chip dusts in there.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's real nasty. I haven't.
Mine's just a lot of
literally 3 years.
Mine's just like actual dust. Like it just gathers dust. So I'm like, okay,
surprising.
Yeah, but dude, this whole week we got everything out. Everything got done like in time, which I'm like kind of amazed by. Like everybody did a fucking wonderful job. I wrapped. So realistically, I didn't need to fucking be there that week, but I was just like, might as well come in, do a couple more things, help other people out, get some stuff like backed up. Yeah, just make sure everything's going. And so I start on the new show tomorrow, which also is work from home.
So this is the place that even if you were going in, you would be going into that place you had been going in.
Exactly. It's a different building entirely. Because like they split up the union and non-union shows. Yeah. Mostly because it's like this is kind of shitty because it's like on one hand, unions are wonderful. We should always have unions. That's the best thing. But at the same time too, it's like in order to get into the union, you have to have non-union shows. So they keep the union and non-union shows split because they don't really want people to know like how much the union shows make, because then everything else would unionize, which like is a good thing. 100% agree, a good thing, but you also miss out on all these opportunities to get yourself into the union, and that's kind of the problem. You can get grandfathered into it, so like if you're on a show that unionizes, you're in the union. That's just how it is.
That's nice.
Which is cool, but like that's so slim, and like you leave out all these like openings that could be open for somebody else for their career. So it's give and take. It's not perfect, but it's great in some aspects. So they kind of just keep it separate to make sure that doesn't like happen, which like feels shady, but it's also like, hey, there is like some good that comes out of this. So we're in a completely different building, which is actually walking distance from my apartment now. Which I think I've said like 4 times on this fucking podcast.
I think so. You're gonna dox yourself.
I'm just so happy that I don't have to sit in my car for 3 hours a day now. Right, man?
So nice.
But yeah, I mean, so they're setting us up. I have to somehow fucking learn where our projects are, learn how everybody does things remotely.
Oh, interesting. So I'm assuming that's what your Zoom meetings are for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like onboarding.
Yeah. It's based. Well, not even onboarding. Like it's for everybody on these, like on every show. Cause it's basically like, how the fuck are we going to do this? this.
Yeah.
So they're like basically putting up like a whole seminar for everybody to just be like, hey, this is how we're gonna remote in, because everybody has a remote PC setup.
Sure.
So like we just have the ability to remote in their computers and do stuff if we need to. It's going to be interesting seeing how the workflow is going to function, because one of the big problems is, you know, you leave a computer running for fucking ever, you destroy your RAM, like you fill that cache up and your computer gets really slow. So that's why you should shut down, you know, every day. So if we're going to have to do this for weeks at a time, it's going to be interesting because everything's just going to get bogged down.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's definitely not ideal.
It'll be weird.
But hopefully this actually like kind of like sets up a lot of things for the entertainment industry, for it to just be like, hey, why don't we do it this way from now on?
Right. Make
or
some
like,
kind
why
of
don't we
new
have
standard or some shit like that. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to like be at the forefront of that, but I'm not excited. I am excited just to like see how it goes, but I'm also like terrified about how it goes. So
well, I guess we'll see. You'll see tomorrow. You'll find out. We're sitting on opposite sides that we normally sit on.
We do.
Just realized that.
Yeah.
I don't normally show the right side of my face.
It's very strange.
It's strange.
But I actually like the left side of my face more than
I like the left side of my face more than
shit. Sorry.
Fuck. No,
sorry,
it's
buddy.
cool. Hey, it's cool, man.
Just like lean this way. Yeah, exactly.
I'll put a mirror right here, and we can
just
both
don't look
we
at
can
me.
both look into it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can both like make eye contact through the mirror.
Yeah, it'll be wonderful.
We'll have a mirror cam set
Dude,
up.
social distancing is fucking
Social distancing, not even staring at each other.
Yeah.
Breathe the opposite way.
Breathe completely different directions. Everything's fine.
Dude, so Monday, some shit went down.
Like this last Monday?
Like the day after we recorded the podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, is this the sync? Okay, this is a fun story.
I got maintenance diaries episode 2.
I feel like you should just make like a compiled list of all the like bullshit.
Yeah, I honestly
requests.
should, dude. My fucking apartment complex, my maintenance people are very hardworking. They're great. They're kind of spacey, but they get the job. They get the job done. So basically, what had happened was, so Monday rolls around. So Sunday night, actually, I was doing dishes and the dishwater wouldn't like drain in the sink, and I was like, okay, this is weird. And I tried to run the dishwasher or the what the fuck is it called?
Garbage
disposal. Garbage disposal.
There you go.
What the fuck? I tried to run it like 3 times, didn't go down. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put in a maintenance request, even though literally that no. Okay, no. So this was the same night. Okay, so yeah, I put in
your fucking story straight, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
I haven't told this story. I put in a maintenance request on our little online portal, and I was like, hey, sink doesn't drain, whatever. And then I went to the bathroom and I came back and like the sink had drained, and I was like, oh, great, cool. So I canceled the maintenance request. So the next morning, I'm like washing a dish after breakfast, and I get an email from my apartment complex that's like, hey, to residents of blah, 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 we are shutting down for the next 2 weeks, and we will not be fulfilling any maintenance requests. And I was like, oh, fuck. Well,
that's super convenient.
Yeah, I was like, cool,
Damn.
awesome. I was like, but also a good thing that this thing started working. And then someone turns the shower on upstairs, and all of a sudden I hear a gurgling in the sink, and I'm like, ooh, that doesn't sound good. And 2 seconds later, yeah, literally, it was the deepest, like, it sounded like some squid, like 100 meters down, just like death metal,
like
warm
a tentacle like comes
yeah,
out of it.
Literally, so the left side of the sink started filling up, but not with just like water. It was like crusty, black, grimy, smelly ass water. I thought it was sewage for like the first hour. I was like, this is really gross.
It's called Cthulhu, baby. Let's go.
And I was like, cool, this is really nice that they're not doing maintenance requests. But they also, at the bottom of that message, like in the smallest font possible, they're like, we will be fulfilling emergency requests. So if you have an emergency, only emergency, call this line. And I was like, this is probably an emergency because I need to use my sink. And
also it's overflowing.
Oh boy, I didn't know where it was going from there. I thought that would be the extent of it. Put in the request. I call the maintenance line and I was like, hey, my sink won't drain. And they're like, run the garbage disposal. I was like, yeah, no fucking shit, dude. Martha Stewart, Home Economics 101. I ran the garbage disposal like 6 times and all it did was fill up more. And they're like,
it just added more water to the sink.
I was just like, and it
did the opposite.
I was like, I literally told him it was sewage because that's what I thought. I was like, it's sewer water. It's like little poop. It's poo-poos in my sink.
It smells like poop.
It smelled like poop.
Please fix the poop, please.
And it was in my sink, and I was like, this is really bad. And they're like, okay, we'll send someone over. I was like, okay, great. Thank you so much. So in the meantime, I let it sit for like an hour. And then I go back and I try to run the garbage disposal again, thinking that maybe it would go down like it did the prior night. And it just starts bubbling on both sides. Like, and I'm like, fuck. And it's just like black water spraying up. I'm like, fuck, 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 fuck. Turn off the garbage disposal. And I'm like, I call the maintenance line back. I'm like, can you please send someone quickly because this is insane? They're like, yeah, we'll send someone. Just like be downstairs so you can open the door. I was like, okay. They come about 20 minutes later. It's this guy with this huge, like, it's this real big, like, metal snaky thing attached to like a vacuum. It looked like the Teletubbies thing, but like a lot longer and scarier.
The fucking living vacuum cleaner that they fucking have for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. What does it do? I think it blows them.
Well, I think it eats their food or some shit.
Oh,
I don't know.
Interesting.
Megan put it on one time and it scared the shit out of me.
It's
like
terrifying.
I legitimately was like scared for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever it does, it's sketchy. But anyways, it reminded me of that. And so he brings it in. He's like, "Where's the issue?" I was like, "It's in the sink." Which sink? The kitchen sink.
What did you say?
The kitchen sink.
The one that's overflowing.
I don't know. Yeah,
that one.
That was like the one with the black gunk on it. And they're like, okay, cool. So he goes and he puts the big old hose in the side opposite the garbage disposal side, the side that was filling up more. And he's like, I told him that the issue had arisen when the shower turned on upstairs. And he's like, okay, go turn on the shower. And so I turned on the shower and I came back downstairs. And he's like, yeah, just let it sit for a sec. And then so he like turns on the machine and it starts sucking shit up, or he starts trying to like get rid of the clog or whatever. And then all of a sudden the sink starts filling up more. And he turns around. He's like, turn the shower off right now. Go turn it off. And I was like, oh, fuck. Turn it off. I was like, fuck. I ran upstairs. I turned the shower off. I come straight back down. And like it hadn't overflowed, but it was like, it was kind of full. And like water was like kind of like, there was some black gunk on the tile and the tile's white. So you can very clearly see it. And I was like, this is really, really gross. And he said, okay. And he was, digging around there for another 30 minutes. And then he said, it looks like the problem is downstairs, like in the basement, in the garage, in the main water line. And I was like, I said, okay.
So everybody's having this problem?
Yeah. So I was like,
could you imagine an entire apartment complex of people just freaking the fuck out as like their sinks fill up?
I was like, so is it just like, is it everyone? He said, no, it's just you. He's just you and the apartment above you, but no one lives in the apartment above us. So I was like,
that whole apartment is just empty.
The whole apartment, it's like a 2-story apartment. It's fucking empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Dude, I should take that.
You should, dude. It's nice. And it's not too, I don't know. It's not too expensive.
Think about it.
You should think about that shit. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, so it was pretty much only you. And I was like, okay, fucking awesome. So he's like, I'm going to go get my friend and we're going to do the bod. I was like, you're going to go get your friend?
This fucking guy named Gary.
Yeah.
He's just like, yo, man, you want to make $30?
Yeah, come snake this drain. So he's like, I'm going to get my friend. We're going to go down to the basement. If you need me, I'll be in the basement. And I was like, okay, cool. So then the water drains from the sink. Like I'm sitting there, like just kind of monitoring the situation and just like on my phone. And then I go over a check and it drained. It left this disgusting black, like just gunky, gross gunk all over the sink.
Like when they show like the differences between like a clean lung and a dirty lung, like from the years of smoking.
Like
that's what it was.
Lung. That's literally what it looked like.
That's funny.
It was nuts. And so I was like, okay, well maybe he's fixing it, whatever. So I was like, great, this is good, but the issue still remains that this is in the sink. I don't really want to, I'm not going to run anything to clean it out. I'll see what the issue is. So I go back downstairs to tell him that it drained and he's not there. And I was like, okay. So I look outside and the dude's just like chilling in his truck. And I was like, okay, maybe he's just waiting for his friend. It's fine right now. And then all of a sudden I hear some more gurgling and I'm like, oh no.
It only gets worse.
Oh no. Yeah. You might think the issue is solved. I sure did. I know I did. And I heard some more gurgling. And at this point, it had been 2 hours. So like the gurgling started at 10 and this was like noon at this point. So I go back to the sink and it's like filling, like rapidly filling. The left side is just like slowly but surely it's filling. I said it was rapidly filling and then I said it was slowly filling. It was filling at a noticeable rate. All right.
Like if you looked at it long enough, you'd be like, oh, that's filling.
That it went up. All right. So rapidly in terms of a sink should not be filling, but it wasn't like, so
faster than the average
sink fills.
My blue ass socks.
So it's filling up with gross. Oh wow, those are cute.
I know, right?
Those are nice.
Yeah,
those look comfy.
They're all right. They're a little thin.
They're thin.
I sweat in them a lot. It's not good, but
nice.
It's whatever.
Sweaty feet.
Yeah.
More than the average person sweats, or just...
Yeah, like if I put them in a sink, like the sink might fill up faster than the average sink.
Okay, I got you.
It's bad. I have sweaty feet. It's pretty
sweaty
bad.
feet. cool, man. Hey, we got some. I got foot
We all got
issues.
sweaty shit,
I had
man.
athlete's foot for like a long time growing up. It was gross as shit, dude. I had to go to the podiatrist.
Were you an athlete?
I ran track and played tennis. So like,
So technically,
no.
yeah. Oh no,
Just
two,
kidding.
two of the most like hard endurance sports, and you're just like, no, not really.
No, I was an active child.
Chilled.
I'm still looking for people to play tennis with. By the way, if anyone wants to play tennis, hit
Dude,
me up.
I'll attempt to play tennis with you.
Dude, fuck
when
yeah.
when
we
can go
back,
outside.
let's do it. Anyway, so it starts filling up, and I'm like, ooh, this is bad. So I'm like, all right, I got to tell this guy. So I go outside to the truck. He's not there. I'm like, oh, maybe he's downstairs. Go downstairs. He's not there. So I was like, did he just fucking bounce? Did he say, I think my job's done.
Homeboy just disappeared.
So I called the emergency line
like
again.
ninja smoke bombed his way out of there.
He's like, I'll be back. No, he's not. I called the emergency line again.
Got sucked up by the sink.
And she said, imagine he just like puts his hand in there and he's like, oh,
you just see his head. He's just like, help me.
it's like, oh. So I called the emergency line and she's like, he said he's there. And I'm like, he's not. She said, he's in the basement. I said, he's not. And she's like, go check again. And she hung up. And I was like, oh, checked again. Of course he's not fucking there. So by this point, the left side is completely full and it's spilling over into the right side. So now the right side is starting to fill. And I'm like, we're at like so close to critical capacity here. Like once the right side fills up, there's nowhere else for it to go but over the sink and all over the counters.
Just put a bucket and throw it out that window into the hallway that's in front of your sink for some reason.
But why is there a hallway? So
fucking wild.
I'm like, this is bad. So I am literally looking all over for this guy. I'm like, he's not here. He's not here. And at this point, there's maybe T-3 minutes until it's all over the fucking counters. It's rising. It's rising. I run down to the basement like 6 different times to keep looking for this guy. He's not there. And so then all of a sudden, I'm like, I've got this all on Snapchat. I'm like, or on Snapchat, on Instagram.
A quick aside, my whole thing was like watching it unfold like through your Instagram stories and then seeing like the 2 things that Ray put. I was just like, this is really funny. I was like, you're like very concerned about it. Ray was just like
concerned. He's like, oh,
this is
kitchen's
weird.
overflowing.
And he like just didn't do anything else.
I know. I had it was like a 2-3 minute long Instagram story about just like
so
from start
funny.
to finish. So at this point, it's like 3 hours in and the sink is full up to the brim. So full. It was so full, my guy. It looked like just a reflecting pond.
Dude, it looked, I think I put this in like one of like the responses to yours, but it looked like those like inlay TVs that people put into their like countertops.
It was so it was so nice.
Weird,
for like
dude.
the 2 seconds where it was like flush with the countertop, it looked dope as fuck. And then the unthinkable happened. Well, not the unthinkable.
I don't know if that's really unthinkable because like
was
that was
not
kind
unthinkable at the time, but like maybe 2 days prior, if you had told me my sink would be overflowing with black, disgusting gray water, chunky, smelly, poopy, I would have said, nah. Straight up, nah, go away. You're harshing my mellow. But man, Monday, woo, my whole outlook changed. It started overflowing so quick, dude. It was all over the floors. It's dripping onto it hit my spice rack immediately. We're like, spice rack's fucked. We can't go in for it. So we go and we grab like the espresso machines. We're like, okay, what is important to save? I bring all of like the plates that were in shit where they were drying. Like I bring them over and I'm just like washing it. I'm like, oh my God, all our spices.
it's like watching a train wreck.
Yeah.
Like everything's just breaking apart in front of you. And you're like, we can't do anything.
Dishwasher, it was seeping into the dishwasher. It seeped into like the cabinets and shit because it's like running down the sides. And it like expanded all across this huge countertop. It's just like pouring down. And I'm like, where is this fucking maintenance guy? I look outside. He's still chilling he's back chilling with his friend. I was like, so I like step outside. I'm like waving him down. I'm like, get the fuck inside. And he's like, it's in the basement. And I said, my shit's overflowing. And he said, no, it's the main water line in the basement. And I was like,
so what do I do about this water line?
He's like, I was like, this is like overflowing right now. I was like, I don't know what you need to do. He's like, don't touch it. I was like, I'm not going. He's like, don't take a shower. I was like, I'm not going to take a shower. It's overflowing right now. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
I'm going to take a bath.
He's like, I'm going. Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to like fucking dance in the river of like shit that's in my kitchen. So he's like, I'm going to go into the basement right now because I was making a big fuss. I don't think he truly understood. I know he didn't understand the magnitude of what I was talking about because he did the thing in the basement, whatever. And then all of a sudden this thing stopped overflowing. And then he comes upstairs and he's like, oh my God, your sink overflowed. And I was like, I fucking know. I was trying to tell you, dude. That's what I was trying to say this whole goddamn time. So he said, okay, I'm going to send someone else in. So he's downstairs in the basement fixing this thing with his friend.
Immediately pushes it off on someone else.
I went through like 3 different people. I called the emergency line. They're like, someone will take care of it. This guy got his friend to take care of the one thing. And then his friend was like, I'm going to get someone else to clean. So then this guy comes in with an even bigger vacuum, an even bigger Teletubby sucky wucky thing.
You want this suck?
You want
I give this suck?
See, he comes in with that, and he just starts vacuuming the shit out of my counters, like straight vacuuming them, and it looked so funny. And so he's vacuuming the counters and like cleaning them up and just spraying hella Clorox and like just a lot of like Lysol and just like really disinfectant shit. I'm like, good, thank you so much, I appreciate it.
This is a kitchen.
This is the kitchen, yeah. So this guy didn't speak any English. So luckily he did speak Spanish, and so we could communicate. But like, I don't know what he would have done if I hadn't spoken Spanish.
Right.
Because he needed things. He was like, I need to come in and out, and I need to prop the door open. Do you have bags? Do you have this? And I was like, okay, cool. So I got him all the stuff he needed, and he's like vacuuming the counters. And then at one point, his vacuum like started leaking, but he didn't notice. So like he's sucking up the water, and it's shooting right out the other end of the vacuum. Just like he's got
Where's the other end of the vacuum?
He's got this long hose. So it's like a really long hose like this, and like it's attached to the vacuum, but like the hose had a hole in it. And so he's sucking up the water, and as soon as it gets sucked up, it just sprays out the other end of the hose, which is going everywhere because he's pointing it everywhere. And so I literally had to like, and it was loud, and I was like, hey, oh, hey. You couldn't hear it. Water spraying all over the place. And so I like go in and I'm like tap him. I get sprayed by the thing. I tap him, and he's like, I was like, your thing is spraying water. Oh, thank you. It does this a lot. He wrapped a t-shirt around it.
It does this a lot.
He wrapped a t-shirt around it, and that was that.
Oh,
and then he just
my
like, this
God.
t-shirt was just soaked, and it was just like not really the right
How
thing
many
to do.
t-shirts does he go through on like a
I'm
weekly
sure he goes through
basis?
so many, and you can't wear them again because it's like poop water. It's
Wait, did he like take off his
That would've been
t-shirt,
so
put
funny.
it on it?
That would've
It's
been
just
hilarious.
Like, it's just this like big shirtless like Mexican guy just like vacuuming your kitchen. That's hilarious. Holy shit.
That would have been funny as shit. But no, he just like had a bag, and like there was a shirt in it.
He just had a
bag of shirts.
Shh, I got it.
I got it.
Oh my God.
Let me clean it. So that happened.
God, there's more.
It was clean. No, that's the end of the story.
Thank
But
God.
like, he cleaned it. It took, but this whole ordeal from first gurgle to I can stand in my kitchen again, 7 hours.
Wow. What
From
the
literally
fuck, dude?
10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It did not seem that long
There
through
were
your
dudes
Instagram.
coming out in and out of my kitchen, whatever. Like, and then they were still in the basement, like through like 8 p.m. It was insane.
Jesus.
It was crazy. So
Fuck.
that happened on Monday. And that was just, what a precursor of events that was going to start off, like, hey, if this is any indicator of what's going to happen this week, it was that, because that was just literally a great metaphor for the whole fucking week.
You know what's even funnier? I had some more shit happen on that Monday too.
Dude, what happened?
All right. So to preface this, I feel like I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I bought a car in July of last year. And I love this car's been wonderful. It's been great. Still dealing with the insurance because I got rear-ended 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. No, it was the end of February.
It was like,
it's been a
month
fucking
ago,
month. Still haven't heard back from their insurance, which is super great. I talked to the insurance adjuster, and she was just like, well, we can't really do anything. We have to wait. And I was like, okay, fine.
Cool.
I guess. But that Monday, basically what had happened was when I bought my car, the dealership did not send over the information from my bank to the DMV. Mm-hmm. So when the title was printed, I was the sole owner of my vehicle.
Right.
Like, because I have a lien on it because I'm not going to drop $17,000 on a vehicle at once. Why the fuck would I do that? So got a loan. Lien holder's name was not on the title. I did not think that this was a problem because I was like, it's at least legally it's there. Mm-hmm. So like, whatever, no big deal. I get a letter about 2 months later in October saying, hey, like, this is fucked up. We haven't gotten your title yet.
Yeah.
Do you have your title? And I was like, yeah. And they were just like, you're not supposed to have your title. And I was like, oh,
well, I have it.
Yeah. And they were just like, okay, well, we have to get this fixed. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, it's going to take me months to get an appointment at a DMV because I live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And this is a bank back home in South Bend. And so I was like, well, I guess I just got to do this online. So do a bunch of research, find out, send a form in with a check to have a duplicate title printed.
Okay.
Tight. Sounds good.
Sick.
And I'm just like, this is what's supposed to be the information on it. Nothing happens for about 3 months. So I call the DMV and I'm like, hey, I sent this thing in. What the fuck's going on? And the guy's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Just go to a AAA office with like AAA, like the roadside assistance. Go to one of their offices. Just tell them you need to do a thing. Give them $15. They'll just do it. And I was like, what the fuck? Why did nobody tell me this?
Told me that the first time.
So go to AAA, do it. Get it all taken care of. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sick. This is great. It's been 3 months since I sent that letter in.
Yeah.
And so I email my bank again. They've been hassling me like every 2 weeks.
Of course.
Because I'm like, look, man, I don't fucking, the DMV has the information. Yeah. And so I check my bank statement the next morning because I check it way too often. Of course. And
same.
That money that I sent in 3 months prior just cleared my account. And I was like, whoa, what? And so I get that letter back 2 days later saying, hey, this isn't the right thing. Send us this, this, and this along with this again. And I was like, but I just did that. I just did that at AAA. Just get rid of this one.
Yeah.
And so the 30 days rolls around from the day that I did it at AAA.
Yeah.
And my bank messages me and they're like, hey, we still haven't gotten your title. This is like the 30-day mark. Like, do you know what's going on? Have you gotten it? And I was like, no. So I was like, motherfucker. Well, everybody's on quarantine. I'm just going to try the call in the DMV and hope the best.
Yeah.
So I call the DMV. And I get put on hold for 9 minutes.
Sick. That's
and I was like, tight. I was like, this is fucking wonderful considering California DMV. Yeah. Get through to a woman. She's like, hey, actually, we can't handle this request here because this is just like a field office. We just handle like questions and stuff like that. But here is the number and the extension of the person you want to call at like the DMV headquarters in Sacramento. And I was like, okay, tight. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hang up. Call that number. I get like this number is not available right now.
What?
Like 4 times.
At
I was like, what
DMV,
the fuck?
like main office?
Yeah. And this is like, I'm already pissed off because the woman's like, the woman at the bank's like, oh, well, if you don't do this, we're going to accelerate the terms of your loan. And I was like, I don't want to pay 16 grand right now.
Fuck, man.
Like that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
And so I'm already like in a shitty mood and I call them and it's just like, the current wait time is 97 minutes. And I was like,
do they have one of them shits where you can like...
Exactly. Yeah. So I like tapped in the thing and it was like, is this a number you want us to call you back at? And I was like, yes, thank you. Hang up. Do work. And about 97 minutes later, I'm like, if they don't call me yet, I'm going to call them after I finish this sandwich. I finish the sandwich, they call me. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Nice.
So pick it up. And the woman's like, so like, there's this, and this. I see that you have like 2 conflicting payments. How did that happen? And I was just like, well, let me tell you. Yeah. And I like walked her through the whole thing. I was just like, so I sent this thing in. Apparently that wasn't enough. So I did the other thing, but apparently that wasn't enough. And you have to do both of those things. But since I did them at 2 separate times, and they never, I guess, bothered to look at the paperwork to be like, oh yeah, this is.
They're doing the least amount of work possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I finally I talk through it and she's like, okay, so you need to submit this form, this payment, send it to this place. And if you want it to go faster, send $15 and send it to this place. And I was like,
oh my God.
So I was like, fine. Okay, I guess. So next morning rolls around and she's just like, yeah, just send this to your bank, have them fill it out, send it to it. And I was like, cool, sounds good. So I emailed the lady at the bank and I was like, hey, so this is what they want us to do. And I was like, 1, very detailed link to the thing, give her the information. Number 2, very detailed link to the form, give her all the information, give her the 3 addresses. I'm like, with, the stipulations of when you send it to these addresses. And she emails me back in the morning. She goes, okay, cool. So looking at all of this, looks great. Just let us know when you do it. And I was like, bitch, she told me to tell you to do it. Yeah. And she was just like, yeah, well, you have to do it. It's your responsibility. And I was like, what do you mean it's my responsibility? I was like, you're the one that fucked this up in the first place. And so I get the whole thing done, get the fucking paperwork, mail it off. And then the woman who's like basically done my mom's banking for decades, like calls me, is like, hey, so like your mom was in the other day, like to get some stuff done. Like she mentioned that you're frustrated. Like what's going on? And I was just like, this is kind of nice. Thanks for calling me about this. This is sweet. And so like I kind of walk her through and she goes, okay, let me just make a few calls. I'll call you back in a little bit. And I was like, cool. So she like calls, does all these things. And she was like, yeah, so it looks like this is probably what we're going to have to do. And I was like, yeah, no, I already did all this. And she was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just make sure that they don't do anything stupid with your loan. Yeah. And just hopefully this gets fixed soon. And I was like, I hope so. This is the 4th time I've sent this fucking form into this DMV. So at this point, I'm just like in a holding pattern, stressed as fuck. Yeah. And then like the next morning, they were like, hey, so we're probably not going to be in at the end of the week or next week. So we have to get all of this shit done now. And I was like, oh my God. And so that was our Mondays. We had shitty Mondays.
Shitty Mondays, man.
Fuck, Mondays
and
suck.
then just worked the rest of the week and literally like fuck, dude. That was literally like Monday was just like a warning for the rest of the week.
Dude,
for the
last
rest
week
of,
was
like,
stressful.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking brutal.
Hopefully this next week we can all just hunker down in our homes, not leave our fucking rooms.
Absolutely.
You know, just and hopefully ride it out, man. I don't fucking know what else to say about it. It's weird.
Yeah. I feel like that's like we were talking about that on the way over here, but we just feel weird.
Yeah.
Like everything, because like, again, like everything still in a way feels normal.
That's the thing. There's no like hard, like definitely don't, we'll prosecute you. Like don't do this. And like shit is still open. So it feels like it's such a weird limbo. It's like you're like towing the edge of like responsible and like not, and like you should be doing this, you shouldn't be. And it's so weird. Literally put a mandatory lockdown. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Do this, government sanctioned, you can't leave, we're gonna fine you, we're gonna arrest you, do something.
Which I'm pretty sure is like basically what France did.
Yeah.
Like if you were outside, they ticketed you.
Yeah. Do that shit.
Insane.
Do that shit. Stop the spread.
Yeah.
Like I know it's obviously gonna create a big panic, but like that's what we need to do. Otherwise it's gonna go on for a year.
Which
a year and a half.
I think right now, like all the estimates are saying like 18 months at max would be to like would be like what we would need to fix this.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I would be fine with that. But it's just hard, especially like in our professions. Like how the fuck are we supposed to make money like during this? Because everything that we do requires a large amount of people.
Yeah.
Or at least like to actually make money.
To do what we're supposed to. Yeah. I mean, like we have other ways to make money, I guess,
absolutely.
but it's just like not what we're, doing.
Exactly.
Mainly. It's just
And
it's weird. So weird.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like because of that, like everything else just feels weird. And like it's just weird. Like it just feels weird because on some sort of like heavier level, like this is basically what I do anyways.
Yeah.
Like I only really interact in person with maybe 5 or 6 people a week in total. And like other than that, like the only times is I see you, I see Megan, and like I see my roommates, and that's it. And that's like still all who I'm interacting with.
Right.
And so like it's weird because I'm just like, oh yeah, like this is probably what would have happened anyways.
Right,
like I would have just been hanging out with these people anyways.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, shit, am I supposed to?
Like, should I just not at all? Which probably you should not at all. So like I just, which is weird. So it's, it's fucking weird. Obviously no one's ever experienced any kind of shit like this.
It's very strange.
It feels like a zombie movie. I don't really know, man.
It feels like a very boring zombie movie.
It does. Yeah. It's like, where's the action? It feels like if this is going to be a zombie movie, man, make it a fucking zombie movie. Where's the fucking fear?
Yeah, exactly. Let Alex Garland write us a new fucking movie. And we'll
it's a
die
zombie movie without
something.
the good parts.
Exactly.
It's literally like
this is
like 28 days later. It's like I Am Legend. It literally feels like I Am Legend.
Yeah,
like without the scary monsters.
It's I Am Legend, but it's just the exposition at the beginning of the movie
where he's
for
just
the
driving
whole
around
movie.
and shooting deer and like
exactly,
like chilling with his dog.
Yeah, which is like exactly what things are doing.
That's literally what it is. Yeah,
like I'm just chilling with like Megan and her cats.
Yeah,
and it's fucking wonderful.
I Am Legend 2020, man. It's weird as fuck. Holy shit. Let me see if my computer's. Is it plugged in or not?
How you doing? How you doing, little computer?
We're Coochie.
Coochie? Fuck yeah.
Coochie gang.
Coochie gang. Coochie gang.
Been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, dude.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Here's the thing.
So fucking fun.
I think that game would stress me out to like play it just because it's like,
real life.
I was like, you're just
it's
in
like
life.
cute real life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's like,
Fucking
it's so
Nook,
relaxing to watch somebody else play it.
Yeah.
Like just sitting on this couch watching you play it. I was like, this is what I want in my life right now. Like, this is what I need.
Shit's nice. It is. I'm not going to lie, dude. It does make me mad sometimes. Tom Nook and his stupid little fucking like monopoly that he has on everything. Dude, I swear to God, he first of all has taken over all of Animal Crossing, and also his stupid sons, Tommy and Timmy, which by the way, dumb names because your name's already Tom. So what is Tom Jr.? Tommy, Timmy.
It's because he's a child. Get it? He's going to be a child forever.
I hate them all. All right. First of all, Timmy's a government spy. You can't convince me otherwise. Timmy's not a real person. He was given to Tom Nook by someone even more powerful than him.
His eyes are just fucking cameras.
Yeah.
Like he just...
I've never seen him emote.
What would you like to buy?
All right. Tommy is always out there exploring the island and like making sure, if you talk to him, he's like, I just want to make sure all the islanders are having a good time. Timmy stays in the fucking tent with his dad and you sell shit to him and he buys your shit and he gives you really bad deals.
He's the weirdest fence.
Yeah.
Like you steal shit from other islanders, just bring it to him. He's like,
yeah,
I know who this came from.
Exactly.
It's like a heavy smoker at like the age of 7.
he's already super old and he's just like, but yeah, dude, it's literally like, fuck Timmy Nook. I'm going to say it right now. Fuck Timmy Nook. He's not
Jesus.
real. He's not a real thing. All right.
I mean, he's not real
if
though.
you think
he's in a game,
he's Tom's real son, you're lying to yourself and you know it. All right. Someone above Tom Nook Inc. You don't even know. Tom Nook Inc. isn't even the tip of the iceberg. All right. There's some fucking. If you think he owns everything in Animal Crossing, you're lying to yourself. And that's all I have to say about it. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. But just, hey, be wary of Timmy Nook because he's a fucking dirty, rotten scoundrel. This is a
really weird like conspiracy theory. This is like some Alex Jones level shit, but it's like about fucking Animal Crossing.
About something that's not even real.
This is so fucking weird.
Speaking of, dude, so I had my conspiracy theory Uber like 4 episodes back, however long. About like the people planning he thought like people were planning on
they're drawing the red lines.
Yeah, they're drawing the red lines on the map.
The fucking Congress gerrymandering all the fucking regions.
Exactly. I had an even crazier one the other day. It was nuts. So it started like I got in the car and immediately you can tell if it's going to be a talkative person because they'll say, first of all, besides the formalities like, hey, is this for Nick? Yeah. Okay, good. How you doing? Good. That's it. That's the extent of any Uber conversation.
Absolutely.
Ever. That should only be it.
And then it should also end with a right here?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah,
right here's good. And you're like, yeah, no, here's good. I'll just
it's on the other side of the street, but
yeah, no, I'll just run
no, it's cool. I mean, you can just do it here. No, it's cool. I'll flip around the whole block. No, just let me out. That's Uber.
I will tuck and roll, I swear to God.
That should be your conversation, all right? You have a hello and a right here, and you're done. No. I get in the car with this lady. First of all, she has like 17 earrings on. It was insane. I already knew it was going to be nuts because she had like her earrings were so dangly.
This is just some like fucking like bohemian shit.
Yeah.
Like she just rolled out of like a palm reader. She's like, let's fucking go.
She's like, let's turn on my Uber app. So she said, this virus is crazy, right? And I was like, yeah, it's nuts, man. Like you can't do anything. And like
in the back of your head, you're just like, oh no.
I know. I'm like, where is this going? She said, it's the crazy thing is she's like that people believe it. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, it's totally fake. And at this point, if you want to hear people's conspiracies, you have to play along. You can't have an argument with these people because they're not going to,
they're so far up their own ass.
Yeah. So I was just like,
yeah,
I was just like, oh my God, yes. So then she's like, I was just like, I have to play along. So I said yes.
And also too, like the moment you say yes enthusiastically, they know that none of those barriers that they put up need to be up anymore. Yeah. So they let
the craziest shit go. Once you agree with them, it's just
a fucking just steamroller.
They like test the waters with like a little like, this is slightly controversial. And like, if you agree, boom, guards down. This. They're like, also this and this and this. It was fucking nuts. And birds aren't real. So like fucking, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, no, it's nuts. And she said, yeah, it's definitely like there's some bigger shit going on behind the curtain. And I was like, wow, yeah. I was like that. I've been thinking the same exact thing. And she said, they just want people to stay inside because of 5G. And I was like, wait, I was like, okay.
This is a very interesting direction that I did not think this was going to take.
There. I thought it was going to be some weird like political shit or whatever, but she's like, no, it's 5G. And I was like the cell phone tower band thing. She's like, yeah, 5G is, she's like, this, if the world is, it's heading this 5G direction and it's really bad. And I said, okay, tell me more. Like, what do you think? What are your thoughts? And she said, well, now that everyone's inside, they can start putting up these 5G cell towers. And I was like, okay, I don't think they're going to put them in places where people are anyways. I was like,
either way, it's just like, yeah, that's ideal. That means we get faster service. Exactly. I don't know what you're talking about.
She said, I lived by a cell tower before. And basically she said my neighbor, worked for the cell phone company and she's like, I basically watched his descent into madness. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah. So what 5G is doing, she's like, this is Donald Trump wrote a policy about 5G. And I was like, I don't know about that. But she said, yeah. So what he basically is working with the NSA and NASA and
we had Space Force now. Fuck NASA.
She said NSA, NASA, and I don't know, some other like big brother organization. And she's like, and basically what 5G's initiative is ultimately mind control. And I was like, wait. She said 4G bands aren't powerful enough to penetrate most human brains, but 5G is. And I said,
what fucking journal did she find this in? There needs to be an abstract. This needs to be peer reviewed. I know. What the fuck are you talking about?
Where did you see this? And she said, yeah. She said my neighbor worked for the cell phone companies, and he just became you could tell, like every day I would talk to him, and he just like, you could tell they were controlling his mind. But this was before 5G. And so now with 5G, she's like, what they'll have the power to do, this is coming from her. She said, once they have these towers up and they can communicate with each other and like sync into your mind, they could detonate your brain. She said at any minute, they could just self-destruct someone's brain. And I was like, wow, that is quite the theory.
Here's the thing too. That first guy, like very tinfoil hat shit. This is literally a tinfoil hat scenario.
This is straight up like
this is fucking insane.
Yeah, the first guy like maybe sure had some valid points. Maybe he like read something and like got it twisted, and this was his twisted version of it. This straight up is just like not real.
Dude, what just the fuck?
This is a theory. I don't know where you got it from.
Hello, ma'am? Yeah, can you get out of the car? Yeah, fucking stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. Just go home.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive your car now.
I'm like, you drive for Uber. Like, why? It's not like, if you want to go off the grid, if you really think this shit's happening, why do you drive for Uber? Why do you
you might not want to be in a thing that can be tracked literally tracks your every move. What the fuck are you doing?
That's straight up what, I was like, just go. Why? I didn't expect someone like that to be driving for Uber. Like, that's someone that you like meet on the street corner who like doesn't have a cell phone and like hasn't been outside in 2 years.
Yeah.
She straight up like, yeah, she thinks so. 5G apparently is gonna be the death of all of us. If this quote unquote virus, she said, is if this doesn't get to us first, she's like, it's gonna stop. She's like, it happened right away and it'll stop right away. Once all the towers are up, the virus is gonna be cured and gone. And I was like, all right. And then it was time for me to get out of the car. But like,
I don't think she understands that we've had 5G for a couple of years
now. I know.
Now.
People have 5G.
We've had 5G for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time.
I know.
Dude, this is her way. This is her way of using her mind control to get you to control your mind or something.
Both of the Uber drivers are part of their own schemes. That's what it is. God. That's a common thread.
Dude, that's the Illuminati shit right there.
Yeah, it was fucking insane. It was so... I could barely hear what she was saying over her fucking earrings, dude. And they were loud as shit. Anytime she like turned her head to look at me, it was like,
dude, that's how she's like blocking the 5G.
Literally, oh my god. Her fucking earrings are like, they're like deflectors. They're like, not today, bitch. No. It literally sounded like dropping silverware anytime she would move her head. Like, you dropped a whole thing of silverware is what it sounded like.
Oh no. And then like just her whole head.
That's exactly what it is.
What the fuck,
so
dude?
Funny, dude.
Like every time you pull out like your silverware drawer and it like unhinges from like the track and drops
off. That's what it sounded like anytime she would like barely move her head.
That's the worst case scenario in any.
She probably was a 5G cell tower, dude. She was paid by the NSA and by NASA.
They replaced her head.
Uber.
She just has like a stem sticking out of it with like these little things popping out.
And they just put a head over to like spread the reception. And
her head is like one of those like cheap like George Bush masks that you see like bank robbers wearing, and then it's just like a cell tower and a speaker like where the mouth is. So like
two red dots by her eyes. She's just like, I'm just albino. It's nothing. It's not a big deal.
She's like, oh no, this is just how I was born. I was born without the ability to move my face. Welcome to Uber.
Is this for Nick? Get in.
Please sit down.
Her like hands aren't even touching the wheel. We're just driving and she's just like staring straight ahead. What are your thoughts on the coronavirus? It's not real.
Please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. And then like her hands like zzz, and they like tape themselves to the wheels. So like
a fucking lap bar comes down. I can't exit the car at all.
You're just child locks have a whole different fucking meaning now.
Oh no.
Just you're just stuck there.
You're just fucked, dude.
Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious. Dude, what is with LA and just having so many fucking crazy people.
I don't know.
Okay,
man.
I feel like crazy is a bad word in this scenario,
Yeah.
but like I feel like there's just a lot of people that have like these like insane thoughts.
Yeah, man.
I'm just like, how did you arrive at this conclusion?
It's because there's a lot more 5G cell towers here than there are anywhere else, man.
It's just their fucking speeds are so fast that they're just like,
so
man,
fast.
I just gotta go down this Wikipedia hole.
They've started affecting people.
Dude, that's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Uber drivers are just wild here.
They be wildin'.
They're all bad.
Uber drivers be wildin'. Yeah, but I think that was that, and I don't fuck. What was what else? I had written it down. Oh no, that was it. The virus is fake and 5G is to control people's minds. I literally, as soon as I got out, I made a note because I didn't want to forget it. It was insane, dude.
That's so funny.
It was
Holy
fucking
shit.
crazy.
Dude, that's like my favorite thing too is like the one that I've always like thought was just batshit insane is like the whole anti-vax movement.
Oh my god, yeah.
'Cause it's like one,
nuts.
you're just wrong.
You're
I don't
incorrect.
give a shit.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you're anti-vaxxer, stop fucking listening right now. I don't
Listen,
want
is not
I don't
for
want
you.
you. We don't want you. But like the whole
Anti-vax and Uncle Vax.
like I love that. Oh my god, Auntie and Uncle Vax. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just like some old hippies that just like it's just Grateful Dead playing in the background, and it's just Auntie and Auntie.
Auntie and Uncle Vax.
Uncle Vax. There we go.
Oh,
Fucking,
man,
I
that's
hate
funny.
that.
That's funny
But like,
shit.
I love that this whole thing happens, and like they're like everybody that's like anti-vax like suddenly disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Right? Hey, where are you at? Where are you at now, huh?
Your essential oil's gonna fucking stop this virus, my guy. Is
Why don't
is
you
what we're
spread
gonna
some
work on?
eucalyptus on your fucking palms every day, huh? Fuck soap, right?
Why don't you get some quartz and just put it on your forehead? That'll protect you. That'll keep you steady.
God, dude.
It's just I just love like that the whole thing disappeared. They're just like, we're just gonna stay inside. Everything's gonna be okay.
Everything's fine. Yeah,
like,
we're
no, everything's
not that
not
we're
okay.
scared. We're not scared because obviously
because
we can't catch it because vaccines are
we
not
have
effective.
our vaporizers with essential oils over
We're
there.
fine.
Okay,
So
we're
like
fine.
we're not
Everything's
scared,
fine.
but like we're gonna stay inside, not because we're scared and think we might need a vaccine because we don't, because no one needs vaccines. We're just scared. Maybe we're not scared. Fuck, we're not scared.
Shit. Timmy,
Fuck.
get out.
All right,
Timmy, go back in your room. Go back in your bubble.
go back in your bubble.
You just hear like a zzz, like
What
a
was that,
zipper.
Mom? Nothing. Shut the fuck up.
Just stay
Wasn't
inside.
talking to you.
I was talking to you.
All right.
Turn the ventilator back on. Make sure the air conditioning's running.
Oh my god, dude.
Lower a window.
Open the window.
Dude, it's just, and it's weird too because like people have like been reacting very strangely. And like there's always, especially like on Twitter, like everybody like with their high and mighty stances have always just been there anyways.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, oh well, like you're bored. It's like I'm only doing this. I'm like, are you trying to outboard people during a
dude,
quarantine?
I hate that shit. That
Like,
shit
go
where people are
fuck
like,
yourself.
oh, you're tired? Well, I only got like, oh, well, I had to write a fucking term paper and I only got 2 hours of sleep last night, but I also haven't gotten any sleep the rest. Like, I don't give a fuck. Am I not allowed? No one's allowed to be tired, apparently.
No,
at all.
absolutely
You're not
not.
allowed to be tired. You're not allowed to be bored. You're not allowed to be hungry. You're not allowed to be anything because
Yeah.
someone else is more tired and more hungry and more bored, and they'll fucking let you know.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you're bored. Oh, you're playing Animal Crossing. Well, I don't have a TV. All right.
It's like, okay, that's
All right.
not my fault.
Fuck, like buy
That's
a
like-
TV, dude.
That was the shit that I dealt with like in college all the time. Like going to a fucking engineering school was like
Yeah.
all the engineers just being like, oh, well, like cool that you're making like your little films and your graphics
Yeah.
and stuff. But like
have
I had to
real
design an engine last night. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Cool, man. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, that's
you
not my
chose
job.
this.
I don't give a shit. You
I'm
did
not-
this to yourself.
right? Fucking
I was like, this
sorry,
is your
man.
own goddamn. You didn't prepare for this, so
Like,
fuck off.
I'm doing my thing. You're doing your thing. That
it's
shit
insane.
always makes me
And
laugh
it just
so hard.
carries over into this shit, and like now we're just dealing with this, and everybody else is trying to fucking
Outboard each other.
outboard each other,
Straight
or
up,
like
don't even talk to me unless you've been sitting on the ground for 7 days straight and pissing your pants. and not moving.
dude, they're like trying to out quarantine
Yeah.
everybody. They're just like, oh yeah, well I've taped my door shut.
Yeah.
There is no air getting in and out of this place, and
I'm
I will be
breathing my
dead
own
in 14
recycled carbon
days.
dioxide
Yeah.
for the past
Exactly.
7 years. All right, so don't even talk to me about this.
Yeah,
don't
dude.
even, dude.
It's like we get it. Like I'm gonna die by natural causes in 14 days. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm saving his life by dying. It's like, whoa,
oh
what?
God,
I don't
dude.
know what that means, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
No, I don't think you should do that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow, dude.
I'm so sorry.
God.
I'm so look, we started so We don't have capture cards, so I have to start the camera like every 30 minutes, hence the little swishy things. And like the moment I ended the last one, I stood up and just farted.
Let it rip.
I was holding it in the whole like last couple of minutes.
Walking it back here,
I'm sorry.
You wafted that shit.
I don't have a sense of smell, so I don't know what it smells like, but it's probably bad based off of this reaction.
That was a fucking ramen shit right there.
Yeah, dude.
That was
That's all
just
that spice.
Tonkatsu and chives. Got chives in my ass.
It just kind of smells like it's like musty Japan.
Oh,
like if you're just like in Japan and you just smell it and then just like make it like 30 years old, that's what that was probably
fart
smelled
like.
That's how I envision like a ramen fart to smell like.
Yeah, that's like the new line of fragrance, dude. That's like Chanel number 70, musty Japan. Chive ass. Introducing our new line of fragrances for men. Does feeling clean make you feel emasculated?
Try fermented leek.
Does washing your hands make you want to throw the fuck up? Try our new fragrances for men. Gun.
Discharged gunpowder.
Oh my god, dude.
Rusted knife.
Crusty jockstrap. Locker room full of towels. Oh my god.
30-year-old car in your front yard with moss growing on it.
Planet Fitness bench that hasn't been wiped down, even though there's signs everywhere saying wipe down after you work out.
Dude, I have so many thoughts on Planet Fitness, but fuck, we cannot. I don't want to go into it right now.
Dude, fucking nobody wipes down benches at gyms. It's so gross.
It's the grossest thing in the world.
There's so many signs. I will religiously wipe down a bench before and after I use it.
Same.
Nobody else. I will watch other people leave their workout station. I'm like, oh, they just get in a thing and then like clean it and come back.
Yep.
They just fucking leave.
Yep.
It's so gross,
Yep.
dude.
I always love like
ass
like the one
it.
dude who like picks up like his gym bag, his like gallon jug of water, his other pair of shoes.
He like doesn't believe in the locker room or some shit. Why is it all out? Dude?
Yeah,
You're making
then
it harder.
He walks to like another thing and just drops all the shit, and it's just like, oh, so we claimed his territory. Cool.
That's it.
You gonna clean this shit, my guy? No.
So
all right,
gross.
cool. Go do your thing. I'm gonna burn this whole bench and just make a new one, I guess. So fuck
gallons
you.
of water, dude.
Oh,
the gallons get bigger every fucking time. I'm just waiting like 10 years. We're gonna be just like
Some
bring
dude's
a whole
walking,
well with him.
Not even that. He like walks in with the like the water cooler jugs. He just like punctures like a hole in it and just holds it over his mouth. That's how I'm envisioning it. It's that sound too. It's just him just like just deep throating it. Just that the whole time.
Fucking. That's where Steve's headed, dude. I'm telling you. Every episode I'm gonna mention
Dude,
Steve.
he's gonna fucking do it, man.
Steve will do it.
He will fucking
That's the
do
one
it.
thing about him. And I, you know what? Say what you will about him, but he'll fucking do it.
That's all that matters. He's a man of his word.
Hey, and that's the moral of today.
Hey, I mean, look at it this way. The DMV has to hold their word. I have to deal with the insurance holding their word. You had all 7 of those dudes with vacuum cleaners hold their word.
Yeah.
I mean, this is about keeping your word, guys.
Their words, all right?
That's all you got to do.
So just take your words.
That's what we need from you.
Put them in your hand and hold that shit all week until we see you next time.
Now, remember, stay inside.
Stay inside.
Stay safe.
Don't do
Wash your
drugs.
fucking hands.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch other people's faces. Don't.
That's pretty much it. Don't cough in other people's mouths.
And remember, the safest sex is always you and your hand.
Yep.
Your safest sex partner is just
yourself.
A handshake away.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Gross, but that's all you need. So remember,
leave
a comment.
Leave a comment. Leave a review.
Maybe we'll fucking roast you next time.
I want to read it.
I am really want to
desperate for attention.
We just want to include you guys. That's it. That's all we want.
That's it. All right, guys. We love you. We'll see you next time. Middle of the day, middle of the week. Stay safe. We love you. Again. Bye.